Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing good. Are you ready for this? Hey, Zozo, we're coming in hot today. We got to talk about some things in the Nancy Guthrie case. Only Annie and Tomasso. Think about it. When you think of the Nancy Guthrie case, you guys, who's the spokesperson? Who's the one you think of that did all the talking? Was it Annie or Tomasso? I don't even. Did you see an interview at all from Annie or Tomasso? I didn't. How you doing, Carla? Hey, Zozo. Hey, Smudger. Good to see you. Michelle Dry in the house. Julie Lovejoy. Welcome in, my beautiful live audience, as well as my amazing replay crew. Now, I did put a whole bunch of calorie-free snacks in the replay lounge. So feel free, fill up. It's like Harry Potter in there. So, you guys, the biggest question isn't how today or where, but why? Why only Annie and Tomasso? So here's my point. I want to hear your thoughts on this. I'm very, very interested because I don't really have an answer. And I think this is one of the biggest why questions, besides why Nancy. Lucky, can you find your place? He's over here building a nest out of the blanket. Hey, Carla, Wendy B. All right, you guys, it's looking good. This is looking good. Okay. The FYO, hello, hello. Good to see you. Mama W67, welcome in. Deborah, welcome in. All right, you guys. So here's the question today. And the big question that I have is if Savannah, right, the one that's doing all the talking, if she's in the very beginning, the only one we know, like we think back to the very beginning. Let me ask you a question. Had you ever heard of Nancy Guthrie or any of them other than who? Savannah, right? She's the one that everybody knew in the beginning. We found out that she had a mother who went missing. It took us a little bit. We're like, okay, her name is Nancy. The mother's name is Nancy in the very first few days. So we knew that there was family that had dropped her off. We didn't even know the names. So then the question is, and this is a big question, you guys, why would Derek Kalila not have contacted Savannah or even Michael, her husband, who are Savannah's the spokesperson for the family. She's the only one anybody knows. So why would Derek Kalila, who messaged Annie and Tomasso, have contacted them? Nobody even knew who Tomasso was. Barely had heard the name Annie, if at all, by the time that Derek texted them and then actually made a 9-minute silent call, or 9-second silent call. Now he's got a plea deal. What's going on? I want to know you guys' thoughts. Never knew Savannah either, Carla says. That's a good point. So my point being, how did Derek Kalila know to even contact anything? How did Derek Kalila even pull? Okay, here's a good point. He's not even local. He's from LA. Yes, he goes into Tucson and performs. But how would he, as a DJ that goes by the handle Secret Mutilator, have picked Annie and Tomasso out of all the family members to message or contact? MJM 77777. Maybe he ran his mouth, in your opinion? Who's he? Tomasso? Run his mouth to who? Okay? So how would this even have happened? Wendy B didn't even know any of them except for Savannah. Nisi says, because he's close to Tomasso and Annie, in your opinion, I think they have a scheme going on and went right at the A house. My opinion only. Thank you for sharing. Kelly says, I always thought was the porch person is Savannah, lips, eyes, blue, height, the model walk, pinky ring, bracelet that looks like a tattoo. Interesting, right? Michelle Dry says we hear something on DC next Tuesday, right? I think so. I don't understand the plea deal part. Hey, Danny, welcome back. Did you know on the 9th they changed the case to homicide case? Yes, I heard that. On the 9th, that it has, they're now looking at it as a no-body homicide. And Trump has put it out there that the DP is on the table. Maybe Derek Kalila ratted and got a deal, in your opinion. Wouldn't that be interesting? Hey, Mystery Diva, good to see you. All right, you guys, so we have to ask some serious questions. When we watch all these ex-LE, ex-police officers, ex-FBI, they dance around it. They ask the questions that we're asking, but they don't go any further. They don't try and find out if there's any connection, even if it's right in their face, such as one of the common denominators between Derek Kalila and Tomasso is they're both DJs. You'd think, well, so what? What if they were both lawyers? What if they were both accountants? Who cares? However, Derek Kalila performed at Club Congress, and so does Tomasso. And at the same time, the resident DJ in the middle, DJ Mojito, is quite clearly presenting all the Sonora and the unholy, right? Derek Kalila must have some connection through Tomasso, because the only one that we're aware of would be that there'd be a connection because they're DJs. Wouldn't you think that all these people that are ex-experts would look at it and go, wait a minute, the Derek Kalila secret mutilator is a DJ that performed at the same locations as Tomasso? Instead of saying, these experts get on here and they're, saying, well, just Derek Kalila, isn't that strange how just out of the blue he contacted Nancy Guthrie's son-in-law? Yeah, well, how out of the blue is it? So the question then is, why? Because it didn't sound like he was just out of the blue. It sounded like it was a response of impatientness on a deal that was already pre-established, is what it sounded like to me. Because it wasn't like, hey, here's the information you need to send us the money. So even if this guy just is out of the blue, how is he going to get paid? How was he going to get paid? Hey, do you have the Bitcoin? We're waiting on our end for the transaction. Well, where are we supposed to send the money to? You feel me? Like there seems like there's some pre-communication of where are we putting all the ka-ching. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. And for me, I don't understand why. And I'm worried. I'm worried that law enforcement is at the level that the experts are, to where they haven't dug into the connection deep enough to understand how they would have crossed paths in real life. And that, to me and everybody else, is that we can look on there and we can see Club Congress and we can see Secret Mutilator goes there all the time. We can see that Tomasso is late or as less than a year ago. Wait, what are we at? June 18th? Almost an exact year ago, on I believe, the 25th of June, Tomasso was performing at the exact same place, Club Congress. So why is nobody looking at it that way but a few of us? Going, well, it's like everybody's dancing around the obvious, that there's a connection and it's real. It's not like you and I are making up the connection, right? Cat Lady says, I've heard that Jim's wife is into Bitcoin. Kelly Simon says, I'm mad that all my YouTube streamers are getting arrested. Shame on this crazy family spending time doing this. They're looking for your mom and keeping her name out there. And we care about Nancy. They don't, in your opinion. Thank you for sharing your opinion. Hey, Grandma 3. I'm wondering why at first Savannah said she'd pay $500,000 for a PI, but now denying that. What are we supposed to believe with her anymore? Do any of you remember when, for the first day that the Guthrie family put out a reward, it was $25,000? Is what I saw on the media. $25,000, and everybody was like, "What is that? Is that real? That's all you're putting out for a reward for your mother?" Then it went right up to $1 million. And I'm like, OMG. It's like they're waiting to see how the public reacts. It's strange. But now let's get back into Derek. Why not contact Savannah? We can't be like, well, he's local. He doesn't live in Tucson. He lives back in LA. So why not contact Cameron? Why not contact Michael Feldman, Savannah's husband? Why not contact Savannah, the one that would be paying, most likely, any reward? So that would mean that somehow there's a connection. The connection takes us to Club Congress, where they both perform. And when you look at that, you have to be like, that's so weird, because that's where Kayla Day also was performing with DJ Mojito. And Kayla Day was arrested with Luke Daly and is now been arrested again. Luke Daly was raided on Friday the 13th. And so there has to be something to all of that. He literally messaged, we're waiting on our end for the transaction. He literally texted, did you get the Bitcoin? Not to Savannah, but to Tomasso. And so we have cases where certain people get cleared that should have never, ever been cleared in the beginning. I'm not saying this case, but it does make you wonder, because it just seems really strange. Danny says exactly, Layla, or something along those lines. Kelly Simon says, in your opinion, Savannah is fake and a phony, no tears. She can bring it in. She's an actress and smiling. Thank you for sharing your opinion. Mystery Diva, yes, there's definitely a connection between Kalila and Tomato and Annie. Absolutely, that's factual. I can't understand right now why we have experts, ex-experts, ex-law enforcement that do YouTube. Every one of them keep asking, like, out of the blue, why would that guy contact Annie and Tomasso? How would he even get their number? Why choose them? Why not Savannah? Why not Cameron? Why not Michael Feldman? And then it's like all they've got to do is go, oh, wait a minute. Derek Kalila's a DJ. Oh, wait a minute. Tomasso's a DJ. Oh, I wonder. Oh, so they performed at the same venue. They work at the same place. Got it. But they don't go that far. It's like they just want to dangle the carrot and be like, yeah, what's the connection? And make you do all the thinking. I get that we should form our own opinion, but there's a connection, and now he's getting a plea deal. Lala says, it's being said that a rumor about the PI. So let's talk about, real quick, let's talk about the house. So Nancy Guthrie's kitchen, we think it's the kitchen light, came on at 4 a.m. Why is anybody bothered by that? We've already been told, at least I was clearly told, that the caretaker that drives the Tesla is staying at that house. So the caretaker probably got up to get some water or go pee, right? WhatsApp phone numbers are posted by many. Why not grab Savannah? Why not grab Cameron? Why not grab Michael Feldman's number? Why Annie and Tomasso? Every time you do cards on A, you got the devil and the death and the 4 swords and the 9 swords. We're going to find out again today. Roberta. Hello, Roberta. Why are lights on at Nancy's? Exactly. It's the caretaker. It's the caretaker. DEA says LE will tell people that they are cleared, then boldface lie and say you passed are cleared. Then that person goes on thinking that layer has been lifted, and this is when they are exposed. Yeah, someone's living in the house, right, Julie? That caretaker. You know, they couldn't keep a subscription going on the cameras for safety for the 84-year-old woman there, but they can afford a caretaker after she's gone on the house. DA says, I don't know about the caretaker staying there, but they may have installed timers on the lights. Well, then it would come on every night, right? Grandma 3 says, I think the person calling in and saying Nancy's buried in Mexico is just trying to take us off track, land using a burner phone, so I don't believe she is in Mexico, right? Now there is a caretaker. I'm a little late. Yeah. MNJ, facts 100%. Thank you for sharing. Did somebody just become a member and I missed it? Well, welcome in as a private eye. Thank you, Jan Funk. Thank you, lovely. Thank you. So, you guys, now let's really talk. What on earth would they have, hypothetically arranged as a deal with Derek Kalila to get him to be waiting on Bitcoin? What would be his role? This is deserving to watch. Well, thank you, A Gotta Change. Appreciate you. Hey, how you doing, lovely? Hey, Annie. Annie Heath. Good afternoon to you. Welcome back. Open Mind. Geo. I'm like GE. Geofencing was definitely used after Derek called to Tomasso. That's how Carlos and Luke were dragged into this. That could be. What if she's right, he's right, they're right? What if Open Mind is correct and that once Derek Kalila got arrested, they was like in his phone and found the daily, probably Kayla Day, and maybe Carlos, maybe. He arranged the break-in, people. Good theory, good theory. Where is Annie and Tomasso? Have they skipped? It's like poof. That could be. That could have been the plan all along. They stayed quiet, right? So they could disappear. That's weird. You guys, check out. We've got our True Crime Junkie Tumblr. And hold on, we got 2 different hats. Now, you can get these at 1111dex.com. All right, so if you want purple, because you're not an armchair sleuth. That's like a sloth. I hate that term. It's like used derogatory against us. You are a true crime undercover agent. Claim it, right? True crime undercover agent. These come in the purple. I love this one. All right, let's get into this one. This is the True Crime Junkie hat. Let me fix my bangs out of my eyes. And like I said, just jump over to 1111dex.com and check my shop out. I've also got Jersey Girl lotion, Artisan lotion, and it's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. All natural lotion, organic, raw cow's milk. And I've got geranium, and I have never smelt anything so incredibly good. Now, you do not need much. This is all I need for both of my hands. It's wonderful. It's our bestseller. Oh, that smells so good. Derek took a plea deal. Did he talk? That's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering, Julie. That's what I'm wondering. Ah, my hair looks gorgeous. Thank you, Bon. They disappeared. Wendy B. Why did they disappear? Where did they go? Oh, I get why they disappeared. But why did they disappear? Where'd they go? Well, thank you, Nikki. Oh, I opened the shop when I clicked your link to post it. Open Mind says, if Annie and Tomasso tried making a run for it, wouldn't you think credit card transactions or phone records would have them pinged? They're clear. They can go anywhere in the world. They could have moved to Italy. Because remember, law enforcement has cleared them. Even though they're the only ones that were personally contacted by Derek Kalila. That's just wild. Ooh, this is a long one. DA says, I think the neighbor's son, hold on, let me get you over here. Whoops, sorry, wrong screen. I think the neighbor's son who's in jail, who had previous assault and kidnapping charges from February 13th, 2006. He also had charges of computer tampering, and he has a long list of associates who all live. Was Derek's trial today? No, it was the other day, and there's a plea deal on the table, and so it's postponed. Oh, Passion Flower, thank you. You look great. Well, I got some rest. It helps. Gotta go walk the dogs. Be back in a second. Thank you, Danny. DA says they are said to be living in an expensive hotel downtown. That's interesting. That's right, Roberta. The FBI has not cleared Annie nor Tomasso. Only Sheriff Bananos has cleared Annie and Tomasso. Do you think Kalila squealed? Well, don't you think he had to offer up something to get the plea deal? I'm like waiting with bated breath. I want to hear the answer. I want to hear what he says. They darn sure better have asked him why you chose to contact Annie and Tomato, but not Savannah, who's the spokesperson that everybody knew. And, you know, I would love for the police, the investigators, to say, you know, well, basically, Derek, we absolutely know there's a connection between you and Tomasso because you're both DJs and you both perform at Club Congress. And so we're pretty sure that you had a previous conversation with them. But hey, you can go up the river for the rest of your life for protecting whoever you want, or we could offer you a plea deal for the truth. You feel me? That's what I want to happen. In your opinion, Derek Squild explains the deal. Maybe. Michelle Dry says they delayed Derek Kalula to next Tuesday. Correct. Yep. Uh-huh. Why do you guys feel, I want to ask this, I really meant it when I asked it. I want to know your thought. Why do you feel that all these XLE, ex-law enforcement YouTubers go as far as to ask the question and dance around the obvious? Because they'll be like, why would Derek Kalula contact only Annie and Tomasso? But they won't go any further. They won't look it up. They won't even if they know about it, they don't ever talk about the fact that they're both DJs. It's like they want to say it, but they don't want to point the finger at Annie and Tomasso being suspicious. Is it because they all protecting the case so much that they just want to ask it? I don't know. How would that not? I don't know. It's weird. I don't get it. February 13th, 2006 was a full moon also. I don't think so. Let me look it up. I think February 1st was a full moon. I could be wrong. We'll see. Yeah, it was February 1st was the full moon. Let me show you guys. I didn't mean to take away your PowerPoint. Let's get on the right website. So February 1st is the full moon. We'll make it bigger so you can see. Oh, then you can't see. It goes off the screen. There you go. So we have February 1st, Sunday, as the full moon, 13 degrees in the sign of Leo, which is family and pride, ego. It's called the snow moon. Yep. Let me get your PowerPoint back up. There you go. They don't want to get sued. How is presenting the fact that he is a DJ, right? That's all they got to be like. They know that it's a fact that Tomasso is a DJ. They know for a fact that the secret mutilator, aka Derek Kalila, is also a DJ, and they won't even throw that connection out there. It's weird to me. It's weird to me. Michelle says, I heard there's a chance they're going to seal what happens to Derek Kalila next week, so we will have to wait even longer. Ugh, that would be terrible. You have suspected them all along, Pod? MJM says, in your opinion, LDT and DC and A. Luke Daly, Tomasso, Derek Kalila, and Annie. Interesting. Thank you. Thank you for remembering to put your opinion. May had 2 full moons, but not February. Yeah, May's got a blue moon. My birthday month. Rough and Rougher, welcome back. I had never heard of Guthrie's or Savannah before Nancy. Exactly. February 13th was a full moon, and that is when the neighbor's son. It was not a full moon DEA. I'm sorry. It was not. Full moons happen every 28 days exactly. And so February 1st was a full moon, and the soonest another full moon could happen would be on the late night of the 28th and into the 29th, aka since February's only got 28 days that year, it would fall into March. But there was not a February 13th full moon. Cat Lady, you'd never heard of Savannah. A lot of people hadn't. Why seal the results? Because it's an investigation into a no-body homicide now, so they may. They do gaslight us. Absolutely. I truly believe they gaslight us. You are welcome, Ain't Gonna Change. Hey, Yvette, in your opinion, Kalila is spilling the beans to get that plea deal. Perhaps witness for trial. That would be great. Open Mind says, who did Derek squeal on? Put some names behind that, MJ. And what? She don't need to put names behind it. Nancy used to own a house in bureaus too. Interesting. And you would go on to say all the associates are intertwined with Luke Daly's foster brothers and live in a family trust house on Bureau Street. In your opinion, make sure and put in your opinion, please. Passion Flower, good to see you. You knew Savannah but never cared for her show. Didn't watch. Same here, Stacy says. But what does 2006 have to do with this case? Curious. She meant 26. I know there was not one on that date. I'm talking about 2006. Okay, I'll let you do your thing. Aromatic planter, hello, lovely. You're full of shit gaslighting individuals. Jump on any case. Absolutely no persons listen to you. Fake. Somebody want to show them the door? That's very rude. Obviously, we're striking on something because we got trolls, which, as you know, when we get trolls, I'm going to just go over. So, can you guys block that person? Hold on, you guys, just a minute. We're going to clean some house. Because, hold on. Troll. Yeah, troll. Indeed. Okay, let's see. Gone. Just like that. We'll leave that window open. Mindful Lisa UK, in my opinion, Nancy Guthrie chose not to sell her home and move in with them, then putting her home in trust, cutting A&T out of any money. That's interesting too. Hello, Aaron Smith. The biggest issue I have with the so-called hoax text is that it doesn't sound like one. I know, right? It sounded like he is sending a message to someone who knows exactly about what he's talking about. I agree with that. Philomentries says another guy on a podcast, can't remember who, said Annie asked for a loan. I've heard that several times, but I've never seen any hard copy of that. They're gone. Thank you, Zozo. Thank you. No, Marion, you're perfectly fine. It has nothing to do with you. We had a troll come in and be ugly and mean to us. I wonder why they are so quick to believe she ever came home. I think it's because of the pacemaker. They are musicians. Tomasso plays guitar. He's a lead singer, right? Isn't he the lead singer of the band? Am I wrong? I think he's the lead singer. Probably plays guitar too. Probably does. I don't know, you guys. It seems awful weird to me that it could possibly even be fake. Why would he get a plea deal if it was fake? It's as if he has some bargaining chips, right? As to why he contacted Annie and Tomasso, and not Cameron, not Savannah, and not Savannah's husband, Michael, just Annie and Tomasso. So would they have ever offered a plea deal if he didn't have something to bargain with? And the big question would be, why Annie and Tomasso? Derek, you feel me? I think that's really, really important. What do you think? Tomasso plays bass. Well, thank you, Mystery Diva. Ah, cat lady, I could take a nap listening to your voice, Mama D. Well, thank you. Patricia Van Orden. You have a long name. If it is a hoax, then Annie and Tomasso should get in trouble for telling their friend important stuff about the case. Huh. That's an interesting thought. And wouldn't you get it for extortion? Wouldn't you think that's a form of extortion? Julie Leitner, no, he's not the lead singer. He plays guitar. Okay, well, thank you guys for correcting me. Mindful Lisa says T is a left-handed guitar player. Porch guy's left-handed. Look dodgy. Just a thought, right? Ruffin Roofer. I like your name. Kalila and Sione were in on Nancy's disappearance, in your opinion. They played music at the same venues and, in your opinion, guilty. Thank you for sharing. It is really dark music, including Tomasso's band makes songs about murder. Secret Mutilator? What kind of name is that for DJ? Derek Kalola's name is Secret Mutilator. That's horrible. Marion, welcome to Private Eyes, lovely. Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. And remember, Marion, you're not an armchair sleuth here. You're a private eye, a true crime undercover agent. All right, you guys. What are your thoughts on this? I have a question. Where's the timestamp? You know what I'm saying? Where's the timestamp on that video? We were given a video of the porch perp. And you can clearly see that it's a good video, clear. So why can't we see the time and the date? Anybody want to tell me why? Right, Passion Flower. Who makes songs about murder? Sick. Jillian says, sure seems sus. Doesn't fit. Marion just sent a true crime private eye membership. Marion, thank you, lovely. Appreciate you. And Mindful, welcome aboard to the Private Eyes. You question the whole case, Nikki, in your opinion? Marion renewed her membership. Appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, it was only $2,500. It wasn't even $25,000. You're right. The first reward that we heard about came from the family was $2,500 for the return of their mother. Then it went up to $1 million. It was $2,500. That's crazy. Open mind. That's something we should ask Cash Patel. You took credit for that video being released. All right. Cash Patel, please answer the question. Why did the FBI release a video of the porch perp on Nancy Guthrie's porch, but exclude and remove and delete the timestamp and the timestamp and the date stamp? Somebody want to answer that? Has to have a timestamp. That's right, Lorraine. Mystery Diva says, in my opinion, Savannah is cheap. Patricia, miraculously, as soon as Cash got to Arizona, then poof, we have a video of the perp. All fake. Interesting. Hey, Bon, I think there is more video we haven't seen. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Danielle, hello. Good to see you. Welcome back, beautiful. Missed you. Aw, Mindful says, thank you for the membership. Why only $2,500? Because they already knew what happened? Yeah. Makes you wonder, right? It's almost laughable. Lorraine Hubbard, hello, lovely. I missed a few days trying to catch up. Welcome back. Welcome back. Rough and Ruffer. Nancy was so betrayed by her family. Very sad. Pepper and Nutmeg. There is no kidnapper. I may agree with you on that. Yule Chill says this whole case is a big mystery. I want to know, where is Nancy? Marion says they are distorting the timeline, in my opinion. That's the only reason that time would be removed, and the date, because they don't want us to know the real time and the real date, which really brings in a lot of questions. Patricia says, in my opinion, if you look at the perp, his eyes look like different eyes further along in the video. Hello, Chloe. Creeps, embedded metadata, put back together. Access says, Savannah creeps me out. I'm with you. Kelly says, wow. That doesn't make sense to you, Jan? What does in this case, right? I'm way behind on chat. I'm sorry, you guys. Cowboyance, the picture released today shows another perps to the left, right behind him or her. That'd be interesting to see. Komodo NC. Annie knows Chomsky, in my opinion. Who's Chomsky? Actually, they both work for University of Arizona Literary Department. This is just another strange connection. There is something in the background that I discovered too. So who is Chomsky then? Now you got my attention. Komodo, tell me who's Chomsky. Chloe says, why would a neighbor call Adult Protective Services on the day that she went missing? Doesn't make sense. That is so strange. Roberta says it's upsetting because the YouTubers are out there searching in the heat and they don't even get a thank you for the family. It is the one that's asking for help. Hey, Jacqueline. Good to see you, lovely. Welcome back. Mindful says, didn't the police early on say that Tomasso had to use Nancy's laptop on the night she went missing, allegedly? Oh, I never heard that. Access says, Savannah seems like a bully and not liked by her sister or brother. Her co-workers made it very clear during her absence for her throat surgery that they were a lot happier without her. Chloe creeps. What if they got word they were being reported to Adult Protective Services and did something to prevent that before? Isn't that weird? I mean, it would make sense if it was a child case, but it's weird. Kelly Boyance, hello, lovely. Can you get info released on autopsy of who? Whose autopsy? Like a coach load just arrived. The communication between Kalilis and Tomasso says it all. Why not Savannah? If there's not a direct connection, which we know there is, between Tomasso and Kalila, because they both work at the same venue and they're both DJs, something's up. Something's up. Pepper Nutmeg suggests that, in their opinion, they're asking, is this a publicity stunt to get sympathy to save Savannah's job? Good questions. Grandma says, I had to get off this case for a few. I care about finding Nancy, but too much repeats and misinformation going on a lot of sites. But Mama D, I'm back to only watching you. Well, I keep it like real, right? I appreciate you coming back, love. Jacqueline Lynn says, late today, we'll have to go back and rewatch it. Well, thank you for rewatching. Appreciate you. I got to change. Komodo says, If you take the FBI photo and screenshot, you have to magnify it really big and change lighting. I use Canva, and you can see there are details I won't get into, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. We may have to do that. Look around the porch guy, right? That could be fun. Kelly Boyant says, I shared that pic in Nancy Guthrie's page. The pic is in silver. Huh. You'll kill? Nancy has been missing since your birthday, and soon another month will come up empty again. Maybe Nanos is the perpetrator. I just don't know anymore. He does stand like the perpetrator. He walks like an old guy. Mystery Diva Adult Protective Services left a card on their door when this first happened. I know, that's so weird. Komodo says he is a philosopher. I didn't even say that right. Philosopher. That was a leftist guru. How is the most quoted person in his areas? He gave Epstein consult to evade trouble. Well, it wasn't that he gave Epstein help to evade trouble that we know about. It was that he was suggested to have helped a different person, the head of the CIA, actually. And so in the email in the Epstein files, this person saying to Jeffrey, hey, you might want to get this group that happens to be founded as a co-founder is Savannah's husband. So this person saying, hey, you want to get that group, probably, here's a suggestion, because he helped so-and-so who happened to be the head of the CIA that he helped. So very interesting, right? Is it a guy or a guyette? Right, family pack? That's a good question. Truly clubs. Chloe says, can't get rid of Savannah if her mom is missing. In other words, her job was on the line, allegedly, and was with NBC, and the ratings were done. She was washed up. It was over. That was what was alleged, and all the media said she's going to spin it. And that was the last week of January. And at the end of the week, Nancy went missing, and now Savannah's job is safe. I'm not saying, that's what happened, but I'm not saying she had anything to do with it. Tomasso, I have a pic saved, and you can send it to you. Well, I'm going to do my own research on, because when people send me these blow-ups, all I see are smudges. And then they get mad at me because they're like, how can you not see it? And they try to make me see it. And I don't want to do that. I'll discover it on my own, but thank you. Grandma says, yes, you do keep it real. It is very mind-blowing that Nancy hasn't been found by now. It's almost like she's not missing or something. You like my hair and pigtails, Wolfen? Thank you. Patricia says, yes, he does. It's numbnuts, nanos. I call him bananos because he's like banana nano. Mindful says, I still think your work on the Tom and Kalilo connection, everything Mama D, is 100% a coincidence. Maybe A is having an affair with Derek. That would be weird. Boo. You're back. Hey, Danny, welcome back. Jan Funk, in my opinion, it seems like A and T are hiding out. They vanished into thin air. I agree. Julie, there are so many of us that agree with you, sister. Tomato walks like the perp. The family, in your opinion, is hiding? Yeah. Carla doesn't believe she's missing. It's interesting. So, you guys, we are going to have to find out what this whole... My hair is such a mess today. I'm sorry. I know some of you like it, but it's like, I don't know, it's kind of flat. Anyway, I was doing gardening. Is it possible that Derek Kalila was willing to talk? In other words, if he's getting a plea deal, did he talk? He had to have had something to bargain with. What did he use to bargain with to get a plea deal? I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Why did he contact Annie and Tomasso? The real reason. We want to get to the bottom of it. All right, my lovelies. One neighbor, there was allegedly, according to the very first days, a gray truck parked in by Nancy's garage. And if you look, the porch perp does appear to have followed those little stepping stones from back by the garage, because he comes in from the left side toward Nancy's door, or she comes in from the left side. Interesting. All right, my lovelies, if you're carrying on with me, I'm very excited. I can't wait to share that with you. And if you're not, if this is where you leave me today, I will be back very soon. Thank you humbly for all the support, the likes, the subscriptions, sharing, staying with me through the whole live, making comments, hyping me up. I just appreciate all of you very much. All right. With that being said, are you guys ready to do the time warp again? I am. See you soon. Love you. Bye for now.
From the dust I was born, to the dirt I shall return. When my eyes are closed, in the shadows, my enemies will think they won.